our Chesapeake is still struggling, although there's been some good progress lately with water quality and grasses. We still have a very, very threatened ecosystem, and those threats aren't going away. And so we needed to think differently about how we were approaching conservation in the Chesapeake. I was not satisfied with the traditional approach, and I'm actually a fairly rebellious person, and I question authority a lot. And one of the things that I asked was, could we do this differently? Could we leverage technology to actually take this movement to the next level? And so I had a very supportive board, and we founded a program called the Conservation Innovation Center, and I hired some really talented staff, two of which are here today, Jeff Allenby and Cass Pillai. And I challenged them. I said, look, what is the fundamental unit that we're missing in the Chesapeake Bay? And they came back to me and they said, look, land cover data is really lousy in the Chesapeake. We have 30 by 30 meter land cover data. It's 5 to 7 years old, so we're slow. We don't have the information, the parcel scale data we need, and you know, we're behind the ball. And so I challenged them to come up with a new way to do it. Come up with better high resolution land cover data. And they did. And when they did it for a county, I said, can you do it for the Delmarva Peninsula? And they did. I said, can you do it for the whole Chesapeake Bay? And they did. And so we now have produced high resolution land cover data for the entire Chesapeake Bay watershed, 1 meter by 1 meter resolution data. We did it cheaply, we did it fast, we did it with Esri's technology. We used Microsoft's cloud-based servers, or Azure servers, and Intel gave us the grant that we needed in order to do it. And so then we approached the White House with this data set that we worked on with the Chesapeake Bay program, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the National Park Service. We said, look what we did here. This will make everybody faster, smarter, more efficient, more effective. We'll operationalize ecosystem markets. We'll make us better and get us ahead of the ball. And the White House said, that's great. Can you do it faster and cheaper and for the whole country? And so then we said, okay, let's integrate artificial intelligence into this. Rather than manually doing this, which we did the first round, let's try and automate the system. And so I challenged my team again. I said, okay, can you do this with artificial intelligence? And they trained the system how to train itself. And so now we're approaching this very differently and at a much larger scale. I think this application could go national, could go global, and could really arm little local governments, nonprofits, federal agencies around the world with the information they need in order to be more efficient and more effective. And what we've done, I think, is, I call it our Kitty Hawk moment. You know, it was 30 seconds of flight, if you will. And you know, when the Wright brothers did that, it took 5 years before the New York Times actually wrote about it. So I think what we've done in the Chesapeake, it's our Kitty Hawk moment. I really think it has dramatic ramifications for the conservation movement around the world. So if you're talking about rainforest deforestation, or the loss of reefs, or the melting of glaciers, you know, all of this, the applications we've pioneered here in the Chesapeake, I believe, have direct relevance to those challenges around the world. The Chesapeake Bay program has adopted our data, our high-res data, into their model, and for every goal they have, whether it's buffers along the rivers, or land conservation, or whatever their goal is, our data is now helping them to direct their policies and efforts. And here's my sort of pitch to this community, is that we can't do it without the corporate world, without the corporate tech world in particular. If we want to save the planet, we need engagement from corporations like Microsoft and Intel and Esri on a scale and in a way like never before. And what we need is to step up as a community, not just the nonprofits, but the corporate world, and partner together to solve these problems. We've proven we have the technology and the technique to do it. We just need to scale it up, and we need to apply it and integrate it into the fabric of our decision-making processes in our society. I feel really confident that we have something to share with the community, and we're making really good progress in this regard. I want the Rockefellers and Mellons of our day, the owners of those technology companies, to join us in this effort to save this planet. And the thing that I think is most exciting about everything everyone said is we're moving from really an effort-based movement to a results-oriented movement, much more results-oriented. And that's a big deal, you know, because we all have this goodwill. We want to save the planet. You know, E.O. Wilson is our inspiration for wanting to save species, and you know, Jane Goodall is our inspiration for wanting to save all kinds of, you know, creatures. And but what we have here is we have the next generation of conservation, and it's a big deal that it's making this shift from effort to result.